So yes, this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a review of episode 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The New World Order. I guess I can name the episode New World Order. The next one is the Star Spangled Man. New World Order is this episode is set after. It's really after WandaVision, but it's after the last Avengers movie, Endgame as well. I think it's supposed to be roughly 2023 or something in the story, somewhere around there. It's in the blip because it's 5 years later, so it's a little bit further in the. It's a little bit in the future. Spoilers. We have backstory for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The Falcon's sister owns a shrimp boat company, and the kids were babies when they were. Her kids were babies when they were zapped. Now they're 5 years older. I guess we didn't know about these characters beforehand. I think he introduced them at all, or they were part of it at all. And the actors really looked nothing like him, but maybe I don't know. But yeah, I guess it works anyway. They're okay. Their acting is fine. There's the other story is that the shrimp boat company is struggling and he wants to get a loan, but he can't because the Avengers don't make any money, which was kind of an interesting scene. Will superheroes make any money? I would assume that the Justice League in DC was getting paid by Bruce Wayne, but maybe not in the case of the Avengers. Maybe Tony Stark wasn't paying anybody. It's kind of messed up. It was voluntary, really. Tony Stark had died at the end of the other story, so who was I guess Mrs. Stark would have paid him. I think. Anyway, so yeah, I think she would just. Anyway, Pepper. Yeah, Pepper. So there was an exciting action sequence in the beginning. They were introduced to the bad guys, the LAF, the Laugh, and their hands print. Manos the Hands of Fate thing going on, and also their and then that's all the action there is, really, just the action in the beginning. The Falcon then gives up the action in the beginning was a helicopter missile chase thing. The Falcon and CG stuff flying around it, and he gives up the shield so that we could be introduced to the agent from Marvel, the agent guy. The agent, yeah. Not the agent. There is an Asian guy, but that's later. The counselor lady for Bucky, though, is kind of annoying, and she wants him to get his life back or whatever, so Bucky goes to hang out with this guy that apparently he lives next to, this restaurateur guy. A lot of food analogies in here. Asian restaurant guy. It's kind of unclear as to what's going on in that scene, though, because they have the little Buddha cat at one point with the little thing like this, little hand. But they keep referring to the names with Japanese names, like they're Japanese. Now, Japanese people can't be Buddhists. True. Absolutely, yeah, they can't be. But usually the cat is Vietnamese. The faux soup places will have the cat with the little hand that goes like. Sometimes hairdressers, stuff like that. It's usually Vietnamese. It's usually can be Thai though. It can be Thai, but usually Thai is a slightly different looking Buddha. yeah, it usually is Vietnamese. So there's a hairdresser that has that. There's a soup place that has that in town. There's a bunch of other stuff. It's not Japanese typically. I guess it could be if they happen to be in that category. It could be Korean, but then it would be a slightly different personage. It would be either it would be slightly different. It would be the white one or the grayish one or something. And, yeah, they're slightly different. But yeah, I think they were kind of appropriating a little bit. I think they were kind of just saying, oh, Asian-looking characters, let's throw them in here and just do that. And yeah, if it's supposed to be like, yeah, and then there was a shrine later on. A lot of two of the dead son of the father guy. It's odd. Just a little off. Just a little off. Yeah, Japanese names and Vietnamese characters and just a little off. That's all. Yeah. but being from an area over here where it's there's a lot of different Asian cultures. To be exposed to a lot of that, which they wouldn't be necessarily making those movies. They wouldn't know. They just guess. Maybe they see a lot of movies. And I don't think you're supposed to touch the thing, the cat thing. Bucky touched it. Tried to slow the hand down. I don't think you're supposed to touch that. It's not like a slot machine thing, like an idol thing. It's probably would be offensive to touch it. Oh well. It's kind of like back in the day when they had that Major League movie, and the guy there was a voodoo guy. It's completely different. It's a voodoo guy, and he had rum put out for the little voodoo statue, like a shrunken head, bobblehead voodoo statue, and he's like, no, do not steal Jobu's rum. That's like, yeah, it's very bad. So it's probably the same. Well, it's not the same thing, but the idea that if it's a sacred idol thing, you probably don't want to touch it. Sometimes in Vietnamese culture, they put out fruit or incense or something in front of it, and you don't touch that. It's for the whatever deity they're conjuring, I guess. It's not conjuring though. Whatever deity they're it's an altar. Don't touch that. Yeah. So I just thought I would nitpick on the altar. It's odd, and also odd that they had that they got a shrimp boat. I mean, yeah, you know, it should be a shrimp boat. I suppose it would have been. They were thinking Forrest Gump. He really doesn't look like the dude from Forrest Gump. It's a little odd. It's a little off. Just, I don't know. I guess they could have a shrimp boat. That's fine. But like, yeah. It was funny that the bank loan guy was kind of a doof, and he was like, well, you know, and the president. I guess he's a president guy with a beard, introducing the new Captain America, who was Agent, obviously. But yeah, if you know the Marvel comics, there's a guy that like with Robin being replaced a lot in DC. He's been like 5 different people over the years, including a girl Robin. There was a girl one. There was a couple of men ones. Some of them went on to be Nightwing. Captain America evolved in the same way, and he had, even though he was a main character instead of Robin, who was a sidekick, and Robin had his own show about Nightwing. But in this Teen Titans, and then Nightwing. And then Teen Titans again, and then they kept doing it over and over. So a lot of them doing it over and over. So we have the agent. The agent guy is supposed to be in the comics in the late 80s, early 90s. The comics. The reason they had like 3 or 4 other Captain America variants, including the ones by Liefeld and the other guys that went on to do Image Comics later. Yeah, they had 3 of those guys, you know. Yeah, that's where some of the cast went to Image. Yeah, anyway, But yeah, Liefeld can't draw hands or feet, but he's famous. He does comics, but he can't draw hands or feet. Which they made fun of deliciously and religiously in the theme song to Atop the Fourth Wall, which references Liefeld not being an artist. Well, he is an artist, but he just can't draw hands. The hands are difficult, granted, as the art person, his hands are difficult to draw. But and feet. But if you have a model, like go to the art class thing and get a model, you'll let your proportions right. Okay. For instance, if you're a model, a proportion model, this is great for the. You have a proportion model here. This is from I think this is from the proportion model. So this is a tall proportion model, pretty tall person, and you can get where their hands and feet and the size, density, and that kind of thing. So like, yeah, a human hand wouldn't be that big. I guess it's probably a lady. Yeah, because it's got small hands. But yeah, so Liefeld's with the tiny little hands. Anyway, so there's your product placement. And this, because after all, this is a Marvel movie, so we have Disney characters. It's not really product placement. I'm just kidding. But I have these. But I do have them. Yes. And there's a Baby Yoda. Sell out. Anyways. Oh, is that? Yeah. I pretty much described the thing, so I just ended showing off some figures. It's 11. I'm really not sure if I want to watch the second one tonight, because I just watched the first one. I think I'll watch the second one later, because it's late, and do the rest of more Trans movies and other things, and yeah. I'll watch the second one later, because it is an hour. Final impressions of the pilot. It was parts of it were very long-winded and very. They almost fell asleep. Parts of it were like they did not need to have all the long-winded stuff. They just. Yeah, we did. I know that the newer people, Feige, and them want to do. Well, he's not new, but the newer people with him want to do, a drama out of the thing. It's a procedural kind of thing. And then yeah. But yeah, I guess after stuff like a 4-hour Snyder cut, seeing an hour-long one of this one is should be a walk in the park. But yeah, the Snyder cut was more exciting. But they're just starting out here. Yeah, so give it a chance. I mean, the first 15 minutes were exciting. But yeah, it's supposed to be a drama, but with some occasional special effects. They're going to blow their budget on the special effects. But yeah, so yeah, as the Transformers thing winds down, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier starts up here. Yeah, so there's a few more episodes of the Transformer thing left, and yeah, so it was all right, but I'm hoping it'll improve. I don't know if this would have worked in theaters because there wasn't enough going on, really. Yeah. I don't know how long the miniseries will be. Probably, I'm going to guess 8 episodes. But it may be shorter because they're making them longer than the ones for WandaVision. They're making them 50 minutes each. Yeah, so maybe they're longer. Okay. Anyway, so I'm getting the Winter Soldier. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so. And I showed off some of my Disney figures. Yeah, so And when the Orville appears on Hulu, we will expand to Hulu and watch that when it's done. It's not done yet. Their Orville connection is they are filming. They've filmed 5 episodes, and they have the Orville is coming. So don't know how many episodes they'll have this season, but it has been over 2 years. And yeah, so the last season aired in 2019. Wow. Yeah, so it's excellent. So the Orville back again. So. And nobody from Paramount has called regarding Picard season 2, or Lower Decks, or Prodigy. If we really think they were going to call, well, they still might. So they've been using our ideas. Anyway, so yeah. So